In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes that I made when I was starting out in my fitness journey that slowed down my progress. So if that sounds like something that may be valuable information to you, stick around to this video and I hope that you enjoy and gain some value. Starting off, first mistake that I made was that I focused too much on the outcome and the goal instead of focusing on the actionable steps that I could take to get myself closer to the goal. An example of this was that I was focusing so much on my dream physique and what I wanted to look like, and I wasn't really focusing on the steps that I had to take to actually get closer to achieve that dream physique. Now, as obvious as this sounds, a lot of people on New Year's Eve set out their New Year's resolutions and they kind of make these goals outlandish, big, audacious goals that they have no idea how to achieve. An example of this might be how you may set a goal to lose 10 kg in 3 months. Although that's a good goal, it's quite vague and you might not know how to achieve it. A good first step that you can start taking is by telling yourself or making yourself stick to a goal of making sure that every single day you stay in a 500 calorie deficit for the next 90 days. Now that is for sure going to get you one step closer to losing 10 kg in 3 months. Another daily goal that you can set to yourself is making sure that you show up to the gym 5 days out of the week. That's going to get you even closer to making sure that you achieve that 10 kg, losing 10 kg in 3 months. So the point is, focus on action-based goals. Okay, so the second mistake I made was not sticking to a diet. Pretty simple. I was just not tracking my food and I lost out on some gains. Make sure to find out what your macros are and just track your food, okay? In the beginning, that's very important. Get into the habit of tracking your calories and tracking what you eat. Your macros being your protein, fats, and carbs. Find out what they are and track them on a daily basis is what I would tell myself when I was starting out. Okay, so the next mistake that I made was trying to remove foods from my diet instead of trying to add food to my diet. Now, this may sound weird because isn't the point of a diet to cut out some foods so that you can lose weight? Yes. But sometimes there's this misconception that you just need to cut out all the bad foods from your diet so that you can lose weight. Although I do agree with that, there's a way that you can make this process a little bit easier for you so that you don't feel like you're fighting urges all the time. And the way you can do this is by adding in more food to your diet that's going to fulfill you more than your current diet. Potatoes, for example, have, I think, the most satiating levels of any food out there. If I'm not mistaken, I could be, but from the last time I checked, potatoes are the most fulfilling food ever, and they're quite low in calories. If you add that to your diet, now you don't have to, I'm just giving you an example of some foods that you could add to your diet that are more fulfilling than whatever food that you consume on a regular basis. Now, the point is, figure out what some foods that are more fulfilling are for you, add more of them into your diet, and soon you'll realize that you're not even fighting those urges anymore to eat the food you know you shouldn't be eating. And as obvious as that sounds, trust me, adding in more food to your diet, especially ones that fulfill you more, is gonna be a super duper life hack. Okay, so the next mistake that I made is that I didn't focus on progressive overload as much as I should have when I was starting out. I wasn't tracking my workouts, which is very important and you should do it. For the people who don't know what progressive overload is, I'm gonna give you a brief example so that you can just get the gist of what I'm talking about. Imagine in your first week of going to the gym, you wanted to progressively overload on the bench press, right? In your first week, you go to the gym, load up the bench press, 60 kg, and you can do 8 reps, okay? That week, you train your chest 2 times, okay? Sounds good. You have a rest day during that week. The next week, you come back to the bench press, 60 kg again, but now you try go for 9 or 10 reps, or you try to increase the weight to 62.5 kg and you try to hit 8 reps again. The point of progressive overload is that you're increasing the intensity, whether by increasing the weight or increasing the repetitions. Point is that you should be tracking your workouts and see what progress you're making. The next thing I'm going to be talking about isn't really a mistake, but something that I noticed helped me stay consistent in the beginning to showing up to the gym, basically. Now, I think it's very important that you should tie a desired habit to something that you actually enjoy doing. For me, at the time, it was spending time with my friends, right? I started going to the gym with my friends, and it was just overall a more enjoyable experience to work out with my friends. The point I'm trying to get at is try to make showing up to the gym an enjoyable experience, whether it's going with your friends, with your partner, or doing something that you enjoy doing. That way, you'll kind of trick your brain into thinking that going to the gym is something enjoyable.